we've allowed our marinade to rest on our chicken breasts and on our fish for 4 to 6 hours. And now it's time to practice some cooking methods. The first cooking method that I'm choosing to select for the chicken breasts is baking, or is roasting, because they're on the bone. It's a significant amount of meat, and that way I can cook them for a little bit longer period of time, get them to cook all the way through, get the juices flowing in there, and get them nice and tender. So I just have my Ziploc here, and I got myself, this is just a hotel pan, but you can just take a cake pan or a casserole dish of some kind, Corningware that's square, something glass even would work great, even a pie dish would work. So you'll just take your product, your protein that if you're going to roast, and go ahead and set that out on there. And then this marinade is now contaminated with raw chicken juices, so it's not to be used again later. Alright, and then we're just going to go ahead and take these so that they're laid out flat. When we roast things, part of the goal is to go ahead and let them be apart far enough so that they can allow their juices to let go and go down to the bottom of the pan, and they caramelize. And so if you keep everything too close together, that creates steaming, and we don't want to steam cook as a method. We want to roast. So we want to make sure that everything that we roast has enough space, okay? And then this will go into the oven on non-convection, not moving energy there, and it will roast for about 30 to 40 minutes until the internal temperature is 165 degrees. I'm going to check on it at the 20-minute mark, and if it's getting too much color on top, I'm going to take my foil and I'm going to cover it for a little while, and then remove that foil again later, just to continue having the nice crusty outer edges here. You want all this to brown up really nice. You want to leave the skin on to help hold in moisture and even allow that marinade to be in there. So we'll go ahead and we'll place this in the oven. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. And I'll place it on the middle rack. And like I said, it's going to cook for 30 to 40 minutes because they're the bone on, so they're going to take a little longer than if they were just a completely fabricated chicken breast with no bone, or just individual chicken tenders. Those you would want to check sooner. You would want to check on your chicken tenders probably in 20 minutes with a thermometer, see if the internal temperature is 165 degrees, and then the fabricated chicken breast with no bones, check on those within 30 minutes. Okay, so we'll set our timer here. For 20 minutes. And then, as an add-on for this lesson, we're going to go ahead and grill that fish that we marinated as well. So here we have our marinated fish here. It's really nice in the bag too because it holds all the marinade to your product. I happen to have these mahi fillets that we marinated. Mahi's a nice fish that doesn't really have a lot of fishy flavors. It is firm enough to be grilled, and it has enough substance to it and fats in it that it holds up in the grill and doesn't fall apart, unlike maybe a thin piece of tilapia that might fall apart on the grill. You might want to put tin foil down on your grill first so that it has a little bit more support and it doesn't fall apart on you. When we grill, we're going to just go ahead and take these right out of the bag again. If I can open it. and move straight to a pan so that we can get access to our stuff. Right? And then we can just use a tongue. Get them all spread out and ready. See how nice they look? Now if I'm looking at this, if you see this side of the fillet, how it's this flatter, less representative side, and then if you flip this over, you can see kind of the grains of the fish. So this is what you would call the presentation side, and this is the side, this top side here, is that will go down onto the grill first, and this plate side will be on the flip, okay? So presentation side goes down first, same with your chicken breasts, right? We'll go ahead and put that presentation side down first. And I'm gonna go ahead and flip these over to help me when I grab them, then they can just be set right on the grill, just how they need to be. All right, so I have my tongue in order to move things around, and we'll head over to the grill. So here we have a grill. A lot of you are going to be working on either an outdoor grill, or if your stove has an attachment for an indoor grill, that might be an option too. But this is as a grill, because it gets its name because the heat source is a flame that comes from underneath, and it allows the juices to drip down onto that heat source and smoke back up. Okay, so this is your grill, and that's why it kind of gets that classification. And we'll go ahead and smear our product around real nice in our marinade. Get it all covered up. We like that marinade. Roll that down, and we're just going to gently place it like a presentation side down on the grill. And I'm even going to head at it with just a little bit of an angle. All right, get our product nice and sauté. Alright, now, this piece of fish here is much fatter than this piece of fish here. So this one will be done after this thinner one. All of these are going to behave differently based on their size, okay? So we're going to go ahead and watch these. We're going to leave them alone, and there's some indicators that will help us know when it's ready. Number one, it will have good release. The caramelization and sear from the grill where it's touching will have cooked well enough that it will actually release well enough. There's the one clue. The second clue is going to be visual. We'll start to see the color of the fish change and wrap up around its sides, okay? I'm going to change a little bit of lighting, see if we can't see this grill even better. All right, everything's looking great. And now here, this marinade is also contaminated with raw fish. So if you want to be using any of this marinade, at this time you could do things like put a little bit on your fish. But after this, after the flip, no more using this marinade. It's raw, and we don't want to keep adding raw things to the outside of something that's cooked. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead, and this goes, the marinade goes in the garbage, and then this goes to the dish room. So right now, even if I nudge at this, it's not letting go. But if I nudge at this one, it's kind of letting go on this corner. So my release is beginning, but it's not quite ready because visually I don't have white looking fish cooked up here. I also am not working over roaring flames. I'm working over what you would consider just like hot coals. Or if you were working on your outdoor grill, you would be placing this on that outer perimeter of the hot coals so that it's not directly over any flame. But every part of your grill is going to act different. So it's going to be hotter in different places, and every piece of chicken needs a different kind of love. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and wash my tongs if I'm at home, and that way I'm now working with a clean pair of not contaminated tongs when I'm flipping my product that's almost cooked and I'm not recontaminating it. So while this does its thing, we'll go ahead and wash our tongs because I can see here I'm getting a lot of whitening. I can see caramelization happening on the bottom. Getting your clean tongs is even going to help you leave it alone a little, right? I just grabbed a turner spatula to check on this. That way I don't shred apart anything. I want you to be able to see what's happening even though I wouldn't be flipping this yet, so that you get a visual cue of what things look like. So look right here. You can kind of start to see browning, but it's not burning. It's not ready. This might be where I could change my crosshatch, right? Maybe I'll change my crosshatch here. So look at this guy. What's this looking like? Not ready, is it? Whew, we didn't want that. Change my crosshatch. Looking nice. Look at that. Change our crosshatch. These are looking good. So I'm learning, like my grill, it's cooler over here. So this guy, I'm wondering, because it's fatter, I think I'm going to move it to that hotter spot. Right? Let's move that guy to the hotter spot. Nice shine on all that. So we're over here, and I can see visually, I can see a browning happening down there, and I can see the white starting to wrap up the side. Trying to get the glare off. See how it's pink up there and the white's wrapping up the side? Same here. So we're almost ready for the flip. The white's wrapping up the sides, not that one quite yet, that fatter one. Whew. Camera's getting steamy. Trying to get better light for you, team. There's a good angle. Let's see if this helps. There, that's better. And lighting. All right, this back one's looking gorgeous. It's time to flip. Woo. I lost the crosshatch on one of them. All right. Beautiful looking fish on the grill. Notice that the goal isn't to cook them quickly. We want the drippings to get down on the flames and smoke back up on it and impart flavor. It's all part of the fun. This is a place where you make sure that you have whatever you're going to take things off of the grill ready. So I've grabbed myself another big pan so that when I take them off the grill, I have somewhere to put them clean, and then I have somewhere to hold them, well, before they get on a plate. So think about some things that you might serve with this, right? Fish, maybe some mango salsa, some cilantro rice, that would be good. And so it's starting to look visually very done. And then this is the part with fish that you're like, I don't know if it's done or not. And so you'll want this to be flaky all the way through, but still very moist. And the minimum internal cooking temperature of fish and shellfish and lobster and crustaceans is 145 degrees. Not 165 like chicken, it's lower. It's 145. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take one of these and I'm gonna just check it, because this one, I'm wondering how it's doing. And why not show you, right? So I do temp things away from the flame. And with my digital thermometer, I can just insert it to the center of the product. I don't want to drive all the way down to the spatula or to the grill. I want to go to the middle, all right? So you check it in the fattest spot in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to actually head in from the side. And our thermometer is showing us 124 degrees. And you can see that it's not quite there. So, and that it's still even, you know, as I move it around, it's different temperatures. So we're getting close, but we're not there. We'll put that right back on. Right at that 140 degree mark is when I pull them, because something happens when we take things off of the heat, out of the oven, off of the grill, out of the broiler. It continues to do something called carry-over cooking, where all the energy that's still inside of here is still flying around and rotating and still rising in temperature. So if I pull these at 140 degrees, then they will rise up in temperature and finish right at that 145. Be totally safe to eat. I haven't overcooked them. Overcooking can cause a loss of flavor, right? I haven't overcooked them, and they're going to be full moisture, full flavor. So this one on the outside is hanging out at 120 degrees. We're getting close. This one on the far back, this one might be my favorite back here. This one's hanging out at 128 degrees. So I know to leave it alone. Don't mess with it. Don't move it around. It's doing fine. This one, I can visually see down a little bit of that transparent, opaque, kind of raw fish looking, but you can see the flakes beginning to form on the cooked fish on top. That's beautiful. That's amazing. We'll change the crosshatch on that guy. Adjust our crosshatch. Got a sticky spot on my grill right there. Now fish is kind of fragile. I mean, you can see it's pretty easy to knock it apart. So that's one of those reasons where, you know, you just don't want to mess with it too much. A little chunk on the grill getting off. So this one, I can still see it's starting to create juices down there. Let's check on this one. All right, we have attained 150 in one spot, and we're right at 142 at this one. So this is the one where we're gonna go ahead and pull it and let it finish right in our carryover cooking. Looks gorgeous. We'll let that finish carryover cooking. So now we know things are starting to come off the grill. Let's check in on this one. Notice I go in from the side so I don't butcher it. So 146, 144. We check it twice in the fattest spot and we pull it. I'm going to move this one up into a little bit of a hotter zone. I can see visually that that's not done. All right, we'll check in here. 141. We'll go ahead and pull it and let it finish in our pan. Our fatter one, with the beautiful grill marks we've created. This one's sitting at 139. We'll check it in a second spot. There we go, 142. So I'll go ahead and let that, pull that and let it carry over cook. This one's sitting at 138. Let's see the thermometer maybe. Let's see. Nope, it's not mutton, yeah. So it's sitting at 138, 140. All right, I'll check it in a second spot. And it's cooler there. It's 127, so I'm going to leave that alone. It's not done. That back on the grill. Set in that warm spot there. So I've worked with the grill now for a few minutes and I figured out this was my hotter zone. This was much cooler on this side and right here. So you'll get to know the best spots because you want to play a little bit of temperature control. The whole grill is not actually open game. It's just a little bit, you know, learn your spots. And if you're kind of trying to use the heat to cook, you're not trying to just burn the heck out of everything. All right, so right now we're at that 20-minute mark. We're going to check in on our roasting chicken breasts in our oven over here. Oh, they're starting to look really nice. So I'll pull them out so we can look at them. All right, so these are starting to do their roasting. They're doing their job uncovered. You can see on the sides of the pan, caramelization and fond beginning to happen. The skin is still protecting the outer part of there. And we can go ahead and even, with a clean thermometer, It's not going to be 165 degrees yet, but I mean, just for giggles, we'll look, right? So we go to the fat spot of the chicken breast over here, and we discover that it's still only, here, I'll let you look, it's still only like 108 degrees, but it's climbing, right? It went from 41 degrees in the fridge all the way to 109. So it should continue to accelerate now over the next 20 minutes and finish off. So we'll put that back in. I see no reason to rotate anything major. Everything looks still good and spread out. We'll put that back in and set our timer for another 20 minutes. Of course, we'll check and make sure these are 165 degrees on the chicken. We're verifying our fish has achieved 145 degrees. We'll re-clean our thermometer here before we head for the chicken, or the fish. All right, we have achieved 142 degrees. In the next spot I check, I got 132. So again, she ain't done. She's being a pokey one. Right? So we'll go ahead and we can appreciate how beautiful these look off the grill. We can appreciate that everything behaves differently just based on size alone. And I just want to try this with you guys and see how we're doing. So I'm going to just go in here. I have my lemon from my marinade garnish that I set aside in our lesson. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend this. So yeah, definitely going to serve this with probably some mango salsa, some cilantro rice, and like a salad or something. It's going to be awesome. You could also be throwing some peppers on the grill and grilling some vegetables at the same time. A really good way to do that. And then in just 20 more minutes, we'll check in with each other on our roasted chicken. Our 40 minutes have passed, and it's time for us to take our chicken breasts out of the oven. We were practicing the roasting dry heat cooking method. We'll go ahead and grab these out of the oven, taking care not to burn our hands in any way, and bring it over to the counter so we can check out what's going on. So here we have our 2 roasted chicken breasts, dry heat cooking method. They went in our 350 degree oven for 40 minutes, and they were left uncovered the entire time. They didn't need to be covered. We can confirm that they have reached a safe minimum internal cooking temperature by driving our digital thermometer to the fattest part of the chicken, taking care not to drive all the way down to the other side, but to keep the thermometer in the middle. So we check it twice in the fattest parts. It looks awesome. I'm at 170 degrees here, and I'm at 174 here, which means I've gone past minimum internal safe cooking temperature of 165. So these are good to go. Some awesome things that we see happening here are that they have the nice browning on the outside, which means the liquids came out and the carbohydrates that come out of that go to the outside, and then the sugars start to brown. All of this browning on the bottom of our pan, we can go ahead and return that to a flame and make a sauce or a gravy with a little bit of flour and more liquid to make a flavorful sauce to add to the side of this if we want. But again, I'm going to go ahead and pick these up and go ahead and place them straight on to a plate. So I have my tongs so I don't burn myself, and we're also just moving things around in a clean way. We'll place it right on our plate, leaving room for maybe some rice or beans or a nice dish there, a nice pile of vegetables to go here, trying to mix up our colors when we're plating this with some other things too. I can even just take even a little dried parsley if I want to and shake it on top, add a little bit of color, right? We all eat with our eyes, that makes it a little fun. So we've demonstrated today roasting dry cooking method after we marinated, and grilling cooking method with our fish. Enjoy, everybody.